All right, we actually just got back from locals there once again. Went to advanced locals this weekend, and we actually took the first deck I've ever built a few years ago. Synchron there, especially with the new support from the Legendary Collection 5Ds. This strategy has been improved, I wouldn't say a lot, but at least slightly. And we did pretty well at locals today. After the tiebreakers, we did end up getting second place, so that's not too bad, I would say. A few things that could change in the future for this deck, especially in the far future, where we have Junk Meister and Junk Armor. Those will drastically change the way this deck is played. But currently, the deck is still playable. We're just going to go over the list there, and over my options and choices. As for your main starters for the deck, we are looking at 3 full speed warrior. Very good starter. Searches you a spell trap. Basically only one. It's the Synchro Fellowship. Very good card to open. If you get interacted with this and you have Scrap Synchron in hand, you can still combo off anyway. Very good normal summon there. Another starter that you are playing is going to be Ready Driver. So you're playing 3 Ready Driver and the 1 Lefty as well. Does a similar thing to full speed. Some cases it can even be better. Some cases it can be worse. But because we are playing 60 cards, I just want to max out on the 1 card starters. So I am playing the Ready Driver package. Didn't have any complaints with that there. As for your Synchrons, you are playing 3 Stardust Synchron. This is actually a 1 card, although technically it's the weakest 1 card combo. This is absolutely mandatory to play at 3. It's a starter, and it's basically your only real extender in the deck until Junk Meister. Card was very solid, no complaints about playing it at 3. And one that's going to be a bit, I think, confusing for some is I am actually playing 3 Junk Synchron. I was going over some theory there, especially talking with 037 Wolf, over sort of technicalities in the deck, and especially because we're playing 60 cards, you always actually you want to have a Junk Synchron in deck for certain combo lines. Technically opening up Junk Synchron, if you get to a Synchro monster, basically if you've used Synchro Fellowship, this card becomes your extender then. It's kind of a theory. You could, most lists play this at 2, you could probably play it at 2, but 3 seemed fine enough. And another one that's going to be a bit weird to see is actually 3 of Scrap Synchron. So it's the same kind of idea as Junk Synchron in a sense. If you normal summon your full speed warrior and it gets negated, you still want to be able to pivot. You need to have an extender. You need extenders. So maxing this out guarantees that if they prematurely interact with your full speed, you can still get into Scrap Warrior that way. That was fine. You could probably again play that at 2 there if you want. It's kind of personal preference. The last Synchron you are playing is just 1 Assault. This is mandatory for many combos, especially going into the Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. So you do have to play this. I'm not playing Revolution Synchron. You don't need it. It doesn't make your end board better. It doesn't help extend. So it's just a Synchron you don't want to be drawing. Sort of the one of monsters that sort of help piece the tuners together are the non-tuners. So Stardust Trail is self-explanatory. Crossroad Sonic Chick is standard in most lists, I would say, for this deck. But the Anchor Bolt is actually not in every list. Again, with 037 Wolf, there was a theory that this helps in certain game states, targeting and that kind of stuff with Junk Synchron. So this did actually come up in one game where it became like a double body. So that was fine. Probably no real complaints about this. These can probably stay as they are in the deck. I don't have any complaints about them. And then just like a random card, 3 Fenrir. It pairs well with Scrap Synchron going second because you are playing Junk Warrior Extreme. You can special summon with Fenrir, make Junk Warrior Extreme, prompt a battle phase to make Junk Speeder in the battle phase so they can't respond to it unless they have a negate. I only saw this, I think, like 1 game, and that exact scenario did come up. And they technically had Droplet for the Junk Warrior Extreme, but I just continued to play in the main phase too. But that's what you want. And then for some Handtraps you are playing a healthy amount because you need to balance out kind of your bricky aspect of your engine. So 3 Ash Blossom, self-explanatory, 3 Ghost Spell. Very good against a lot of decks right now. Good against Yummy, good against Mr. Ryu-Ge, good against some K9. Pretty good card. This card was very good today. Handtrap of the format, I would say, is 3 Droll and Lockbird. Very good card. Basically, the only games I lost today were because I got drolled. It's not even their end board. If I was going second, I felt very confident against breaking their board. However, they would just droll me, and it's like, It's like, what is this, man? You are playing 3 Mulcharmy Fuolos, self-explanatory card. Technically half a starter because you can normal summon this and you scrap Synchron in hand, and that makes Junk Speeder. And I am actually playing 6 Charmies main deck. I'm playing Mulcharmy Puruli as well. Card was pretty good. The idea is that you're playing 60 cards. You always want to see at least one of these in your hand at all times. You just kind of always want to have a Charmy in hand just to help make sure your opponent going turn 1 either doesn't get their full board or only plays a half board, so it lets you play easier. You're playing another one of the new cards here, Synchro Fellowship. Very good card. I can't express this card is the reason why this new support is so good. I think if this card didn't exist, the new support wouldn't be very good, but this card does. So, very good card. It's basically like Wishes with Eyes of Blue. Search 2, discard 1. Very good card, and has quite a relevant grave effect. You are playing 3 Tuning for consistency. Because Starter Synchron is a extender and starter, you do want access to that at all times. And for the same reason as like if you have full speed, you want access to Scrap Synchron, just consistency's sake. One card that's not actually in every list right now, I am actually playing the Synchro Overtake. Same idea, you kind of want consistency's sake. You don't actually play a lot of non-tuners. You are really only just playing full speed and I guess the Fenrir and your one-ofs. This card was okay. To be honest, I was siding this out anytime I went second. This card could probably get replaced, honestly. But, you know, I drew it like in 2 games and it was like, fine, I guess. And then you can draw it from Librarian as well just to help extend. More spells that you're playing. I was main decking 3 Salesman. My idea was that this card could be used as a breaker and both insulation. So if you need to start your plays, if you have a weak combo, you want to be able to, you know, you can call Ash Blossom. You can call Droll if you know your hand can play through like an Ash or something like that. If you're going second and you're going against something like Yummy, you can use Salesman, call Snatchy, and then their plays become very awkward. You can go against Mitsu, you can call Murakumo. It's like, this card is so versatile, I think, going second and going first, that I don't think I'm going to be playing Synchron without this in the future. Like, this card, I think, should be a main deck staple. It outperformed today, like, immensely. Some more cards that just, you know, they help balance everything out. Forbidden Droplet helps you go second. Not much to be said about that. Some other, like, one-of spells that you're playing. Foolish Burial, it's foolish. Rhoda, Consistency. Illumination for the Stardust. You don't actually get to this, like, every combo, because there are certain times you have to go to search Synchro Fellowship with Stardust Synchron, but you do still play it, and it does actually elevate your end board immensely. And then last sort of like one of engine cards is the Synchro Rumble. You search from Crimson Dragon. And just sort of the trifecta of like no cards, you know? Talent, Cross Out, and Called By. I only saw I didn't see any of these today except Talents once, and I didn't even get to use it because they didn't activate a monster effect. So that's it for the main deck. As for the extra deck here, we are playing 1 Scrap Warrior. It's one of the new cards there. Very versatile card. It can actually help you play under Droll if you can get into this with the Righty Driver engine, because if you don't want to play into Droll, you can use this and then dump something instead. Like, you can dump Synchro Fellowship instead of having to search it, because if you search it and get Droll, it's like, what are you doing, right? So you want to be able to dump that sometimes. You are playing 1 Herald of the Arclight. This was quite a last-minute addition, actually, and it did actually come up a couple games, so no real complaints there. For your level 5 synchros, you are playing the MVP himself, Junk Speeder. Because we're in a format right now where Imperm and Veiler aren't very popular, being able to chain block with something like your Crossroads Sonic Chick is very key to protecting Speeder at the moment. Obviously, if we go into a format where Veiler and Imperm become more popular, then chain blocking doesn't become as important. At the moment, Junk Speeder is surprisingly easy to resolve, I would say, as long as you can chain block it, or you can bait earlier. You're playing Excel Synchron, very combo reliant card. It lets you make some of your big synchros quite easily. And then an old school, we're playing TG Hyper Librarian. The idea is that you want to be able to draw into extra hand traps and extenders to sort of make your board stronger by if they happen to like Dark Ruler you or something, so you don't just auto lose, right? You're playing 1 Charge Warrior, the ugly gold rare. Konami give this guy a good print already. It came up a lot of times in testing where you want to be able to make a 6, because you need to be able to get Assault Synchron engraved before you use Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon's effect. So you would Synchro the Speeder and your Scrap Synchron into this. Stardust Dragon, Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, very mandatory cards. And we are, like I mentioned, we are actually playing the Junk Warrior Extreme. He has actually he came up in like 3 games. I was so surprised. 1 game for his battle effect, and then 2 other games where you just kind of make him to sort of create your final boss monster. Like you can create him, you could revive something like an Assault Synchron, and then make a Gen X with this. Or what I did is I ended up making a Crimson Dragon, and then because that's my last summon for the turn, I pass turn, and then on the draw phase I can use Crimson to tag out into another card there. Some generic extra deck monsters you're playing is Omega. You can double hand rip your opponent. Very key because you aren't playing any like counter traps like the Visas guy. You need to be able to rip like the breakers, like Dark Rulers and stuff like that, that completely cook your field. Disbatter, you don't make it all the time, but still quite important if you're trying to go for a double Omega rip. You can make them quite easily with Excel Synchron and Stardust Trail. You're playing Arms of Genic, return 0. This card doesn't come up every game. I think this is the card that I went into the least today. It's good in certain matchups, like against any K9 deck. This card is phenomenal because it's basically Appaloosa for monsters, right? For synchros, I should say. So it's kind of situational matchup, and it could be considered your flex spot. And your big synchros, you're playing Jurrac, the Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, and Crimson Dragon. You just got a couple of tokens there as well. So Jurrac, very key. You used to have to play Punisher for your level 11 target, but now we have him, and you go Crimson Dragon, target it to summon out your Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, and this card is self-explanatory. It's basically becomes 2 negates. It can attack 3 times, which was super important actually. The attacking 3 times came up like in every time I summoned it and allowed me to actually go for like complete game. Like I can't express, that was actually very important. As for the side deck I played there, definitely not optimal. Definitely things I would change in it. Just because, like I said, you want to be able to draw and prevent your opponent from continuing to play. Siding 3 Meows, you want to have any Charmy in your hand, basically. So at some points, you just side all 9 of them. Because Malice is still kind of a thing, I put in 3 Lancia. I didn't play any against any Malice. I did play against Dino, so I put this in, and I did Lancia him, so he couldn't go Misk Grave Effect to summon something from deck. So, I mean, that was good enough. It was honestly fine. And now, just a bunch of 2-ofs. Well, I'm playing 2 Thrust. I should be playing 3. I don't have a 3rd. But 2 Thrusts, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Evenly Matched, 2 Dark Ruler, and the last card is just Herald of the Abyss for like Lunalight and stuff like that. Maybe Super Quant Magnus. But this card probably shouldn't be in here. Alright, so that should be it there for the deck profile. Deck felt pretty good. I didn't have really many complaints or things with the deck there. It's basically just Droll. Droll is the biggest thing to sort of look out for right now. It's a very difficult card to sort of play around, especially if they already have an established board and they end up drolling you. It's like, what are you expected to do, right? But the deck was fine. Again, personal choices, a lot of the cards I chose to play, and certain things you could probably change, like the 3 Junk Synchron and 3 Scrap Synchron, but the deck was fun enough for me today. That's all for the deck profile there. Alright, that should be it there for the video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.